Welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther Sholari, Counselor Esther Sholari, and I am super excited to be doing this particular vlog. Trust me. So today we will be talking about Japa and love life. It's a big deal, I know. So let us get right into it. I can't remember all the other introductions I'm supposed to do. How are you? How have you been? How's your day? How's been your week? How is life? How do you feel like Jackpine? Anyway, let's be serious. Today is a big deal, and I have my notes with me. I'll be talking about it. So stay with me. You will learn. I promise you, you will learn. I promise you that if you've been confused before now, by the Spirit of God, you would have direction and clarity. Okay, so just so that we're on the same page, I am doing this video particularly for Christians. Yeah, particularly for Christians, because I believe that we're children of God, the children of the Father, and it's just important for us to have some basics sorted out. Okay, so let us get right into it. What is Japa? It's a local parlance for immigration, actually. Like if you're in Nigeria and you hear Japa, it means that, hey, what's Japa? Meaning he has traveled out. Okay, and you'd agree with me that in recent times, a lot of people have exodused out of Nigeria. Like you're talking to your friend this minute, and the next thing your friend is telling you, I am at the airport. Oh, they won't even tell you they're at the airport. Okay. They'll tell you after 2 weeks, I'm sorry, I am now in so place. In fact, some of them, it is their pictures you would see, and you'll be like, this does not look like Nigeria. And they say, yes, the Lord did it. So yeah, that is the situation we found ourselves in Nigeria. And I perfectly understand why people are jackmine. Honestly, the economic situation is not helping. The insecurity in Nigeria is, it is well. The environment itself just has a way of crippling your creativity and making you feel like you are not in the right place. That is the truth. I no go even lie you. Okay, but I found it important to talk about this topic because I am seeing that if we do not apply wisdom, this thing we are doing that is looking like wisdom will turn out to be foolishness. Now, don't take my words out of context, right? There are some people that they will travel out and it is going to favor them. But there are some people that are traveling out for the wrong reasons, through the wrong means, and what they will lose at the end of the day is more than what they will gain. Okay, so I believe it is important for us to talk about this matter from a Christian perspective, right? From what God is saying, and I just want you to stay with me. Please don't go. Stay with me till the end. This video may not be for you; it may be for your friend, but for whatever it is, stay with me. Now, I understand why you would want to Japa. I want to Japa. Yes, let me start from there. However, I am not led to do it, so I wouldn't. We'll come to that later. Okay, when you leave the shores of Nigeria, I've not traveled out before yet, right? But based on what we see, what people have said, it is obvious that there are better job opportunities, better career path, a more dependable lifestyle. Right, like a more predictable lifestyle. You have basic social amenities. It's not like Nigeria that you are dragging with Loma. Loma will go on strike for 2 months and that's it. You are dragging with ASU. Over there you are probably rest assured that your school, if you put in the work, you are fine. You would graduate at the right time. Except there's a global pandemic or something. So it looks like things are working, or should I say things are actually working. Basic social amenities check, economic structure better, like they have more systems than we do. So are these enough reasons for us to just relocate? For me, I hold relocation very, very dear to my heart. I believe that relocation is not something you should do just because you feel like doing it, just because you have the funds to do it. I believe that where we are is strongly tied to a lot of things. The kind of experiences that we would experience, that our children will experience, is strongly tied to where you live. So you can't afford to just make a random decision just because of one reason or the other. You have to be deeply, deeply convinced that that is what you're supposed to do in this season or at whatever season you are in. Okay, so people, we're in a season where people get married virtually. Like, you go for a wedding, oh, come for this wedding, and then you see the bride sitting pretty, all makeup done, and then you see a picture frame, which is supposed to be the husband, but the husband is outside the country, so he's seated, the picture is seated, and then they join them. I have been in that kind of, wedding before. No, the one I was in, the two of them were not even in Nigeria. They joined them in absentia. But there are some weddings whereby it is one party that is in Nigeria. You have that. You have some people that the two of them would actually do a proper wedding. Like, two of them are in Nigeria. They would go to court, do traditional, do church, do all of that. And then one party travels out of the country. Say the husband travels out. And the wife is in the country, but she's married but single. So if the husband does not communicate the way he's supposed to communicate, it's problem. If the wife does it, like, it's just so weird that from the very moment they marry, some don't even use up to a week together before they relocate. And based on my own level of understanding, right, newlyweds are supposed to be together for at least a year, because a whole lot goes on. A whole lot goes on in that process. A whole lot. You guys are trying to bond, trying to understand yourselves. Forget all the things you are doing as people in courtship. Forget it. Believe me. Marriage is the real deal. Marriage is where you do the actual practicals, where you guys actually live together. There is something about living together that exposes your partner to you, or better still, reveals your partner to you, gives you deep insight. Things that you've been trying to understand 5 years in your courtship, you can get it in 3 months in marriage. So marriage is so crucial. Like, living together is so important. It's good for bonding, it's good for foundation building, even in the marriage, so that you can now put structures together as a couple. But what we have now is a situation whereby people come in, they get married, and after a month or less, one party has to relocate, and then they will say, okay, the other one should come and join them, and that may take forever. And we also had instances where the two people, because they want to travel out, they have to do a wedding. They insist, people, their family members, probably even they themselves, insist that a proper wedding must be done. So they do this wedding, and then the two of them relocate. So they relocate as a married couple, but then they get to a new land and it's all strange, it's all different. God help them, they don't even have a strong support system where they are going to, and it's just a whole lot of gbas-gbos. If you are married, you agree with me that the first year can have its own internal gbas-gbos, because people are just getting to know yourselves. By gbas-gbos, I mean differences, I mean maybe disagreements, and all that. So now you're moving into a new place with your partner, and you are trying to find your feet, trying to understand the new system, trying to get a job, and you have all of that. So there are so many people doing these things. Now, am I here to say it is right or wrong? No. I'm sorry, I'm not here to say that. Okay, I'm just here to create awareness. Honestly, that is all I am here to do. I am not going to make that decision for you on whether you should stay or you should leave. No, that's not on me. That's on you. But my job here is to create awareness, to help you see, to help you look a little deeper. I have had sessions with people. I have had discussions with people, and I can see that this is a big deal. People just make rash decisions. They just make on-the-spot decisions. They just make decisions because it looks good. It looks good. Forgetting that there's a whole lot that may crash or may be sustained because of that decision. Okay, so we have all of that, and there are some people that are currently confused because it is like, my partner wants me to get married before he relocates, and I'm scared. What if we get married, he relocates, he marries another woman, or let us not say it on the flip side. What if we get married, she relocates, she falls in love with somebody, me, I'm here waiting. We've had stories like that, whereby the person goes off, marries another person in the new land, and the initial spouse is still in Nigeria, waiting for the day manna will fall from heaven. The person is not having sex with anybody. The person is trying to, remain faithful and all that. The person is literally single but married. And then it goes on for years. So sometimes visa may look quick, but it's not quick. Sometimes the process may look like, oh, don't worry, in 2 seconds this will happen, and it turns out that it doesn't happen like that. And there are even people that even when they relocate, right, the challenges of accommodation is a big deal depending on where they are going to. I'm just trying to paint, different scenarios of what is happening in this Japa syndrome, so that when I begin to talk in details, you'll understand where I am coming from. I hope you are still together. If you are in any of this spectrum I have talked about, just stay with me, okay? You will get blessed. Now, have you thought of the implications of all of this? Have you thought of the implications even in the lives of the children? I'm doing this as a family counselor, as a marriage counselor. I'm doing this, so my focus now is basically for families. I'm not talking about the economic implications. We are looking at the family. We're looking at the family. Have you thought about the implications when there is an absentee father or an absentee mother? Have you thought of the next 10 years? What's going to happen if my child grows up without her father? I have a daughter. What's going to happen? Is she going to end up having a father figure void? And then she grows up looking for love in the wrong places, looking for relationships in the wrong places, simply because the father that was supposed to be present was not present. Yeah, I understand that there are people that they are even married, but the fathers aren't exactly doing anything. I get that, okay? But we are just talking in the context of Japa. And we have cases of children being very aggressive. Aggressive because it takes 2 people to parent a child. Yes. I believe God knew what he was doing when he said 2 people should parent a child. But when we now change that structure, there is a breach in that contract. And if care is not taken, the result will be what you don't want. Yeah, do we have cases of father and mother training a child and the child turns out bad? It's there. But it is worse off when it is just one person. Let's say it as it is. Now, does that mean all children raised by a single parent will turn out bad? No, I was raised by a widow, and I am so grateful to God that I turned out the way I turned out, which in my opinion is really, really good. Do you understand? So, but some children get very aggressive because all they had when they were growing up was presents, gifts. Oh, daddy sent this money. Oh, mommy sent this money. And what they really craved for was presents. They wanted daddy to be physically present with them. They wanted mommy to be physically present with them. But all of that is missing. And then you begin to wonder why the child is misbehaving as a teenager or misbehaving as a young adult. We have to look at the foundation. And I'm doing this video because I believe that the result of all this Japa syndrome going on now will be evident in the next 20 years, in the next 15 years. So how about we checkmate what we are doing and be sure we are even doing the right things? Okay, so we have that. Then we have infidelity. Some people, they marry, they've waited, they can't take it anymore. They begin to have sex with other people. Okay, some people over there, because they need a green card or whatever color of card they need, and they have to marry someone. They have to marry a citizen. As a matter of fact, there are some singles that are they want to relocate because they hope to become a citizen through marriage. Do you know what I just said? Like, they are relocating, and in their minds, their plan is, when we get there, we're just gonna look for one citizen and marry the person. Think about it. Loneliness, it's a big deal, especially for people who get married. Like, they get married and the person relocates almost immediately. When you are single, you are single. There's some things you can do as a single person and you get away with it. But when you are married, especially in this our climb, like, there is only so much you can do. So I can't. You see, this one hurts me. I won't even lie, because I can't even explain the torture. You can't sleep around because you're a Christian, but you can't even be savage. So people say, "How about you masturbate?" That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. Yes, because there was supposed to be a human being that will be servicing you like that, and that human being is not there, and it's not even looking like that human being will be there anytime soon. Like, it's a lot. Okay, Esther, stop getting into your feelings. Let's continue. Okay, so I understand some people are confused and they're probably on the verge of a breakup, with their partner, because it's like, oh, if you're relocating, I'm not going to marry you because I'm not going to allow you to turn my hands to Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to allow you just tie me down and then you go off and you say, oh, masters did not master, so we want to go and do PhD did not D. So it does mean dramatic. But the point is, people travel, have excuses because life is happening to them, and life doesn't just happen the way we want it to happen. So there are people who are on that verge of confusion because they really don't know what to do. There are people who are even married and they don't know what to do. So people are about to marry and they're thinking, is this the right decision or not? So if you are on this, if you are anywhere on this spectrum, stay with me. So what do we do? What do we do? I've spent 15 minutes talking about the issues. Let us talk about the solutions. What do we do? Number one, my first question here is, what is God saying? I know you have your thoughts. Your partner has his thoughts. Your mother, your everybody is saying something. But hey, you're not an alien. You're a child of the Most High God. You have been bought with a price. Are you aware? So what is God saying? If you're anxious, you won't hear anything. Oh. If you're worrying, you won't hear anything. If you're allowing your head, think that everything's just in your head, you will not hear. Calm down. Calm down. You're about to make a life-altering decision. So calm down. What is the Lord saying to your spirit? The Lord may actually tell you to go. We have cases like that in the scripture. He told Abraham, Ogbeni, stand up, go to the land that I will lead you to. That was God. And he also told Isaac, stay in the land. Man lost anywhere. Man lost, stay. You will prosper here. I believe strongly that God deliberately gave us those two scenarios so that we wouldn't say, oh, God doesn't want people to migrate, or God only wants people to migrate. I'm so sure that was why he gave us the two, so that we know that different people, different expectations, different requirements from God for them. So what is God saying to you? Have you prayed about it? Have you just genuinely gone to God to say, see, Daddy, I want to relocate. I'm tired of Nigeria. I want to this and this and this and this and this. But what do you think? Speak to me in a way that I will understand. Don't allow the enemy hijack what you are going to see. Prophets can confirm, but you speak to me so that I will know that you are the one talking. Can we be sincere with God? Can we be vulnerable with God? God cannot mismanage your life. Whether you stay in Nigeria or you stay outside Nigeria, it is still God that protects and preserves. It is still God. It is still God. Whether you are in Nigeria or you're outside the country, it is still God that would help you prosper in the real sense. In the real sense, it is still God. So what is God saying? I've heard somebody say, if it makes you happy, God does not have an issue with it. The fact that it makes you happy doesn't mean God doesn't have an issue with it though. God can say yes to another person, but he say no to you. He can say no to another person, but he say yes to you. So what is God saying? What is God saying? What is the plan that he has given to you? What is your assignment? What has he said concerning your life? What is he saying currently? Do you understand? Seek God. Just seek God. Genuinely, sincerely, and he will speak to you. Okay, number two is, what is your motive? Why do you want to Japa? Are your motives honorable, or you are doing it because you are hoping that when I just travel like this, I'll just marry somebody, even though I have a wife and that's it? What are your motives? Are you doing it because your partner said so, and it's like, oh, if you don't do this, we are going to break up? Is that why? Are you doing this because of fear? Fear is not a good reason to take a decision. I am of that opinion. I stand to be corrected. But I believe that fear is not a good reason to take a decision. Take that decision from the place of power, from the place of faith. Take that decision because your motives are right. Because I want to better my life. I want to do things the right way. And that leads me to my third point. Think about the details. I was having a conversation with someone who wants to Japa, and she just went on and on, and she was romanticizing this thing. And I'm like, you're missing out the details. And then I began to explain to her the details. I began to ask her questions. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Oh my God, can you just calm down and think about the details? Think about it. Don't just do it just because. No. Think about the details. Oh, matter. Okay. Number 4, have a good plan. What is the plan? For some, the entire planning stops at we will just travel out. I guess what happens when you travel out? Who are you going to stay with? What is going to happen when you stay with that person? How do you get a job? Oh, you're applying for school. Is it full scholarship? Is it partial scholarship? What's going to happen if a full scholarship doesn't go through? How would you sponsor yourself? How would you get a job? Where would you live? What would you eat? Oh, you're going with your husband. How are you going to do yourself? Like, can you just have a plan? Can you just stop romanticizing and fantasizing and feeling like, oh, we'll just do this. Calm down. What is the plan? Detailed plan. So yes, I understand that the fact that you have a plan doesn't necessarily mean that everything will go exactly the way you plan. But it's a good place to start. Is that plan realistic? Is it actually feasible? Think about it. Don't just rush into it. Think about it. Okay. Number 5, go through legal means. I can't even emphasize this enough. Like, don't go through a means that will get you arrested. Don't go through a means that will get you molested. If you have to lie your way there, L-I-E, if you have to lie your way there, it means that you'd have to continue lying to stay there. If you have to lie, is it really, really God? Can you lift up your hands in church and give the detailed step-by-step process of how you are traveling? Can you? With the many things you've padded, with the many lies you've told that you can't even confront, you can't even face? Can you? If it is God's will, you wouldn't have to lie your way through it. That's my opinion. Can we make it legitimate and honorable? Can we truly allow God be God? Can we truly allow God give us the favor we are praying for, instead of trying to doctor our way through, instead of lying our way through? Is it Christian? Is it right for us as Christians to lie? You know, when there is pressure, it might look like let's just do it. But see, God's standards are still His standards. If you have to lie and you say it is God's will, balance. Do it the legal way. You're sure it's God sending you on that errand? Do it the legal way. If it is not going to be the legal way, think about it again. 6, ask yourself some sincere questions, and I'll be asking you right about now. Is this decision going to lead you to sin? Question 1, is this decision going to lead you to sin? Are you going to end up cohabiting? You where they do, Christian sister, holy relationship, you now go over there. You'll be sleeping with man for money. You'll be sleeping with man because you don't have a choice. The Lord just dropped you there and left you stranded. It's a lie. That is against the character of God to leave you stranded. If you have to sin your way through, there's a problem. Would you have to commit adultery? Or do you think that the institution of marriage is no more valid? You are a married person, you're already married, and then you travel out, and then you have to commit adultery because you're trying to get some kind of passport. And then you're not saying it is God that led you. It is not God. No, please don't bring God into this conversation in this way. So is this decision going to lead you to sin? If it is going to lead you to sin, It is not God. It is not God. It is not God. 2, how does this relocation impact or affect the assignment God has given to you? How? How does this relocation impact or affect the decision, the assignment God has given to you? God has given you an assignment, Abby. So how does it affect it? Or you think it's just about you? You think this is all of this is just about self-preservation? There is more to it. God has given you nations of the world in your hands. He has given you assignments that will preserve generations. So, how are you so sure? What are you sure that this assignment, this relocation, will not in any way negatively affect the assignment the Lord has given to you? Think about it. Question 3. How does this relocation impact on the quality of family life that you want to have? How does this impact on the quality of family life that you want to have? You have to put this into proper perspective. If you're a single person, you don't intend getting married. If you're already married, you have 2 children, you have to think about it. You cannot just make a rash decision at the expense of the children that you were doing harder to bring into the world. Do you understand? I am not even smiling. So please, how does this impact on the quality of family life that you want to have? There are people that this whole relocation thing has caused them to divorce. And you think that's God's will? No, it's not. John 4, right? How will your children be raised? How will your children be raised? Have you thought about it? You're traveling out of the country. You that you're even going, are you even spiritually strong enough for the kind of demons and sort of demonic structure that has been erected to ensure that your child's identity is compromised as a child of God? You whenever Gino, you want travel there, go raise Peking. Think about it. Point 5. What are you willing to lose? What are you willing to lose? Your husband, your wife, your children, your integrity, your comfort, your peace. What are you willing to lose? How far are you willing to go? Question 6. What are your priorities? What are your priorities? This relocation thing has a way of exposing people who don't even have marriage as their priority. So what are yours? If you're not yet married, what are your priorities? If you are married, what are your priorities? Yeah, you don't want to have a good life for our children. At what expense? Are you people going together as a family? Or you're going alone and your wife is going to come back after 3 years? What's going to happen if that doesn't work? Are you going to come back to Nigeria? Or what would you do? So what are your priorities? I think question 7 now. Are you ready for the quality of life you may likely experience? Are you ready? Think about it. For the quality of life. If you go there and it happens to be that you have to work as a cleaner, is that fine? Do you mind? If you go there and you have to live in the trenches, do you mind? You have to be futuristic. Are you sure that all of these things will not affect the so-called love people have that is shocking people now? Think about it. The 7th point, not 7, like based on what I was saying before, weigh your pros and your cons. Like weigh them, put them on a scale. What are the positives? What are the negatives? What are the consequences? Weigh them. Then 8, think of the future. Don't just think of a decision just for the moment. Think of the future. Will I be happy with myself in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 30 years if I make this decision or if I do not make it? Will my children be happy? Think of the future. So let me just summarize by saying this. God wants what is best for you. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you. They're thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. Some translations says to give you an expected end. You think God doesn't want you rich? He doesn't want you relaxed. He doesn't want you to enjoy life. He does. But be led by God. Be led by God. By all means, don't just make a decision just because it looks good. It is good doesn't mean it is godly. It is good doesn't mean it is godly. Think about it. I hope I've been able to bless you today. I hope I've been able to bring you to that place where you're now asking yourself, the real questions. Do let me know in the comment section. Please share this video with your friends. Share it with your friends. Share it with your friends. Let them know, please. I'm begging. Okay, and I want to hear from you. What do you think about what I said? Did I make sense? Do you have something to add, something to remove? Let me know. Again, my name is Counselor Shonari, and I'm super excited. I will bring you more content. I'm ready for YouTube, so you'll be seeing one of my beautiful face. Yeah, I know. Follow me on Instagram at Diary of a Single Lady Official and at Imole Counseling. Book your professional counseling session with me at www.imolecounseling.com. Get my books, Sell Desperate Guide for Singles, Dear Brides to Be, Relationship 101. Get them right on the site. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Subscribe, please. Let us hit 1K now. Let us hit 1K for the end of the year, right? So possible, right? And I pray for you that the Lord will give you wisdom that surpasses all understanding. That the Lord will give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Great shall be your peace in the name of Jesus. Amen. Mwah. Bye.